This story happened to me in 2016 during a summer in Washington. My cousin came to visit me, and what started as an ordinary hike ended up becoming one of the most bizarre experiences of my life. We found an old, isolated bridge deep in the woods, and there something strange happened. Something that almost made him jump, as if he had been called by something I couldn't see. To this day, I still can't fully explain what it was, but ever since that night, I've never looked at the world the same way again. I'm going to tell you this in detail, and I truly hope you never go through anything like it. Personally, it changed me in ways I'm still trying to understand. I've always been a practical person, rational, the kind who likes to understand how things work. I've never been one to get carried away by poorly told stories, urban legends, or conspiracy theories, and for a long time, I was proud of that. But sometimes, life happens in a way that forces you to rethink who you are. And if you're listening to me now, it's because I'm still trying to understand exactly what happened that night. It was August 2016. My cousin Lucas came to spend some time with me. We grew up together like brothers, but after college, we went our separate ways. He moved to Oregon, started working in design, and we barely talked. Typical adult stuff, right? But that summer, he showed up out of nowhere with a backpack and said,
"I need to breathe. Washington seems like a good place to disappear for a few days."
I agreed. I had vacation days saved up, and deep down, I wanted to reconnect with him. The first few days were basic, light hikes, campfires at night, cheap beer, nostalgia. But it soon became clear something was off with him. Lucas always had this impulsive energy, but this time he seemed restless, scattered. He spoke very little, slept poorly. He had deep, dark circles under his eyes, a distant look, like he was somewhere else the whole time. On the fourth day, he woke me up before 7 a.m. He had made coffee and found a new trail, one he didn't know but really wanted to see. It was the first time I'd seen him excited in days. He showed me on his phone a hidden path in a secondary reserve near Tacoma. I was suspicious. It was a poorly marked area, not even clearly visible on Google Maps. But honestly, it didn't look dangerous, just isolated, and since we had no solid plans, I agreed. The drive was easy, those narrow asphalt stretches that vanish between thick trees. We parked in a kind of improvised clearing, then followed a trail that started between two pine trees. It looked barely used. The grass was tall. Right away, something bothered me. The silence. A kind of silence you don't usually notice until you realize there's no natural sound, not a bird, not wind. It felt like the air was stuck between the trees. But we kept going. Lucas was leading the way, determined. The trail was beautiful, yes, but dense. Trees packed close together, roots everywhere, and that smell of damp wood that grows stronger the deeper you go into the forest. The bridge appeared suddenly, like it had been placed there by mistake. It was made of dark stone, old, low sides covered in moss. Below it, a shallow bed of rocks and slow-moving water. There didn't seem to be a soul for miles. Lucas walked straight to the middle of the bridge. I stayed back, watching. He stared down at the river. "This is it," he murmured. I walked up to him. "This is what?" He didn't answer, just stood there. I thought he was just contemplating. But something was wrong. The way he stood, it wasn't normal. It was a forced stillness, tension in his shoulders and neck, like someone listening to something but trying to pretend they aren't. After a few seconds, he started walking, slowly, one step at a time, toward the edge of the bridge. Didn't say a word, didn't look at me. Arms hanging loosely, eyes fixed. It seemed like he was in one of those moments where you just stare at a specific spot while your mind is somewhere far away. I called his name. Nothing. Again, louder. Nothing. It chilled me. I ran to him and grabbed his arm. It was cold. When I touched him, he seemed to snap out of it for a second, like someone daydreaming with their eyes open. But instead of stopping, he tried to pull away. Not violently, just persistently, like a child trying to break free from a hand. "Lucas, talk to me." He kept staring forward, unblinking, like he was seeing something I couldn't. Then he placed one foot on the edge of the bridge. I gripped him harder and pulled with all my strength. He stumbled and dropped to his knees. He was breathing heavily, like he'd just come up from underwater. It took almost a minute before he said anything.
I don't know what that was. I just went. I felt like I had to go over there.
We walked back in silence. The forest felt even denser on the way out. I couldn't stop thinking about what had just happened. He wasn't drunk, wasn't high. And that look, I'd never seen that in him before. In the car, he stared out the window.
Did you hear anything?
No, just the silence.
There was a sound, low, like a whistle, but not constant. It came in waves, and I don't know how to explain it. It felt like it was messing with my head.
I just nodded at the time, but the truth is, for a moment on that bridge, I felt something too. A pressure on the back of my neck, a heat behind my eyes, subtle but real, like a warm breeze that shouldn't have been there. The following days were strange. Lucas became even quieter, slept poorly. Sometimes, mid-conversation, he'd drift off, stare into nothing for long moments. He said he still felt the direction of the bridge, as if, even far away, he knew exactly where it was. Like some internal compass pointed him there. One night I woke up to a noise in the kitchen. It was him, barefoot, standing in front of the glass door, staring outside. "You okay?" I asked. He didn't answer right away, then slowly turned his head.
Do you ever feel like something is watching you?
That unsettled me. I told him no, but after that night I started locking my bedroom door from the inside. A week later, he disappeared. I woke up and he was gone. Phone off, wallet on the table. He only took a small backpack. First thing I thought of was the bridge. I drove there, heart racing. The trail was more overgrown than before. Everything felt denser. When I got to the bridge, I felt a chill. It was empty, but I saw fresh footprints in the damp soil near the edge. The same boots he wore. I called his name for nearly half an hour. Nothing. I started walking along the riverbank. Then I saw him, sitting with his back to me, under the bridge by the water, staring at the reflection of the bridge. When I approached, he said,
It's clearer down here, the sound.
I sat beside him. We stayed there for a while. The silence felt like it was pressing on our lungs. He seemed different, not scared, not disturbed, just absent. "You need to leave this place," I said. He stayed quiet for a few minutes, then just murmured,
You don't understand, not yet.
We never went back to that bridge. He left a few days later, said he needed to get far away from forests. We talk sometimes, but something in him changed forever. And me? I tried to forget, tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was some kind of sound frequency, a geological phenomenon, who knows, a magnetic field disturbance, something that subtly affected our brains. There are explanations, right? But what I've never been able to explain is the feeling, that specific sensation in that moment, like something larger was there, invisible, intangible, but present. And what bothers me most is that sometimes, very rarely, when I'm alone, in total silence, I feel that same pressure on the back of my neck, and the air around me stops moving, and for just a moment, I feel an overwhelming urge to start walking, to somewhere I can't quite remember, but I'm sure it exists. If this story kept you hooked until now, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. There's still so much I haven't told you, and some things I probably shouldn't.